Hello, heroes. This is Derek Snow, the voice of Shinra Kusakabe, and you are listening to Voice of the Heroes Podcast. Rock and roll.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's your host, the one and only one, Fleet Boy Jetson. And you're listening to the #1 anime podcast in the world, Voice of the Heroes. So if you're tuning in for the first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any interviews or discussions with your favorite heroes and villains from across the world. And today, we are shining the spotlight on a very special guest. You might have heard her in DC's Suicide Squad, Isekai. Yeah, Suicide Squad Isekai. That's the new DC anime out. Y'all better check it out. It's on Max and Adult Swim. And also another anime that's on Adult Swim and Max. Excuse me, I'm jumbling here.
Good, you're
Rick
good.
and Morty, the anime. Let me tell y'all, we just had Joe Daniels on the show. If you didn't check that video out, go back and check it. He is the voice of Rick and also the father. I'm blacking out. The father on the show. Go check it out. It's a great anime. It's a great spin on Rick and Morty. Not too much different, and not even in the voices if you hear it, but go check it out. And also, she is in the new slice of life anime, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. Heroes and villains, welcome Patricia Duran. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, welcome, man. You're more than welcome on the show. Thank you for coming by. Now, let's talk about Rick and Morty, the anime. I was just trying to, get the heroes a little hyped about it because it's kind of flying under the radar for some people. And I keep telling people trying to press this show is so good. I'm loving it. Let's talk about your character and, your experience with the anime.
Yeah, right on. So I first of all, thank you for watching. Did you watch the show originally, like the Rick and Morty, or did you get it?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched the first 6 seasons. So
Oh, wow.
I think I'm mostly caught up. I think there's like a season 7 out that I didn't see. The
Yeah.
latest season, I don't think I saw that. So I got to catch up on it.
Okay. And you saw that before the anime?
Yeah, I saw it way before the
Oh,
anime. So I'm already on the Rick and Morty train. That's what I'm
okay.
saying. Like, people aren't giving it a chance because they're like, oh, I don't want to, if it's not Rick and Morty. No,
Yeah.
listen, give it a chance. You're going to love it, especially if you're a Rick and Morty fan. Ain't too much of a difference, just new stories. But
Yeah,
I'm
just
sorry.
no, it's all good. No, because I've been finding that like people who are really into anime are digging the show. And then those who've been lifelong fans of Rick and Morty are just already like closed-minded about it and not wanting to watch the anime at all, which I respect. I understand that on one hand, I'm obsessed with the show. Like I just got into like the Gilmore Girls, which I know is not anime at all. But if they changed it up, my expectations of what, I expected the show, I'd be like a little upset, or guarded about it. But it was a blast. I mean, it was first of all, I had no idea what I was auditioning for. When I went into the studio, they never tell us. And then, Andrew Love, who's the ADR director, who's an amazing voice actor in his own right, told me, and I was like, what? This is crazy. And he's a huge fan of Rick and Morty. So of course I got to listen to Sarah Chalk, a little bit of her voice. But the main thing is that they were like, we don't want an imitation, which is good because I'm not an impersonator. I don't want to mimic her, right? But they're like, this is a whole different thing, because it's like, it is an anime. It should feel, we want it to like have the same vibe and the same like thread and foundation of Rick and Morty, but like it is its own thing. So so I auditioned for Beth and Space Beth, which was a blast. Because the audition for Space Beth was the second episode of Fighting Mother. And so that was like it was such a dream come true because it's just like this amazing, like tough, strong woman that you like, gets to like kick some ass and do some fun stuff, right? And so that was a blast to get to do. And then I didn't hear for like weeks what was happening. And then I got called into the studio and I was like, oh, I got the part. Like I had no idea. And so
Congrats. That must have been an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it was. It was so much fun. And it was like one of the ones that I'd auditioned for that I really, really wanted. And it was because, not because, unfortunately, like when Rick and Morty came out, my life was cuckoo bananas at the time. So I really wasn't into pop culture at all going on. So I feel like I missed the boat. And usually with shows in general, like I feel like I'm later getting on that train of like seeing things, but from what I could tell from the audition, like it was just the writing was so witty and funny, and I felt like these characters were dealing with some like real things, and stakes were high, and I don't know, just characters you could sink your teeth into, and so I was really excited about getting cast in that. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
I'm enjoying it. And I think people like that's closed minded about the show, that's lifelong Rick and Morty fans, I think they should be happy because this anime gives, the ability to, stretch farther than what Rick and Morty could did, cross seas and touch a new audience and things like that. That way they can get into the franchise. So I'm pretty hyped about the show. I
Okay.
can't wait till they announce a season 2 because it's guaranteed, it's coming. But another anime that you had running almost concurrent also on Adult Swim and Max was Suicide Squad Isekai. Now,
Yeah.
this one was off the bat when I seen the trailer for it. I was like, my God, let's do it. They're finally doing. DC is not playing because some of DC's best stuff is animated, whether they're animated movies or any of their animated properties, they hit home runs with it. And Suicide Squad was no different. I loved your character, the pain in the ass queen who, hey, you know what? And then turned out to be the main antagonist towards the end of the show. Spoiler alert if you ain't see it, man. Get on your job. Heroes, villains, get on your job, man. If you haven't seen Suicide Squad, we are talking to, yes, the big bad. So let's talk about your experience in that, and excuse me, your experience in that, and how was that for you?
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, it was around the same time. You're right. So we were in the studio doing Rick and Morty and Suicide Squad Isekai around the same time.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so with that one I didn't audition for what, Kyle Jones and Shannon Reed, bless them, they're both the ADR directors, and so clearly had faith in me. I had worked with both of them. They're both amazing, amazing guys. And so, but I was like, I was filling out my contract when I went in there, because I'm telling you, like everything is always just like, what am I trying to say? Like undercover, like you don't know what's happening, like what shows you're going to be working on. And so I'm filling it out, and I read like Suicide Squad, and I was like, what? Like the Suicide Squad? Like I had to think about it. And then I got into the studio and I was like, whoa, okay. And then the complete difference with this. So like another show, like you said, DC, famous, been around, very familiar. But in this case, unlike another, like Beth or Space Beth, who has been, the wonderful Sarah Chalk who voices her, this character had never been voiced before, except, obviously in the Japanese. And so I didn't have anybody, to I didn't have that stigma behind it, right? And so it was a whole new character in the isekai world. So, but I was really excited when Kyle, the director, was telling me about her personality, and I got to watch a clip, and I heard the actor in Japanese, and I was like, oh wow, this part is really great. And he wanted more of like an elevated British accent, and a lower register, which is different for anime. Like it's very rare when you get to do that as a woman, to like really go down in your lower register. It's more like high pitch sounds and things for
Mm-hmm.
characters. So that was a blast. So I got to do a voice that I'd always really wanted to do. And so yeah, it was great, and just a lot of fun to be nasty and mean and in control and with power, all the things I hope I'm not like in real life. So, but yeah, that was a blast. And then we're discovering it, pardon me, we're discovering it as we go, the story. The director they'll tell us what they know. And sometimes, with that one, they had like the rough sketches as we were going along. So sometimes the full animation wasn't completely done. And so a lot of times we're learning the story as we go along. So I didn't really completely know what was going to happen with her journey until kind of like a little bit more midway. But I was like, I was there for it.
Yeah, that was a crazy twist at the end. It was awesome. And it's
Yeah.
like the voice that you did put out, right? I want to talk about that a little more because you did mention it, but that voice, that low grounded voice, it really commanded the room and it showed the fear on them when she spoke like, "Oh, we got to get this done or we're toast." Where
Yeah.
did you come from with the voice? Like what was your inspiration for that voice?
That's a great question. I think it was just, getting to see the drawing, getting to see like hearing what the actor did in Japanese, and then Kyle like really talking about like her character and just describing her. And so I just had a sense of it, like a sense for it. And so I tried something out at first, and he was like, no, no, actually, you can be a little bit more transatlantic with her in terms of the dialect, like think more British. And I was like, oh, okay. So he was the one who gave me that note. And then it just came out. I don't know, like it's just one of those things as an actor, like you're just creating the character and you're experimenting and trying things out, and then sometimes you hit a home run, and sometimes you got to like go back and like try again and see. And I've been in shows before where I didn't really discover the voice until maybe halfway through or even to the end, and I was like, ah, there she
Mm.
is, like that's where she lives. And that's honestly, like, because I do a lot of stage work as well. And so a lot of times that happens with me with characters that I'm rehearsing for theater, where I didn't really discover that voice until sometime in rehearsal. But I know that once I like click into that and tap in, I'm like, ah, there they are. That's where they live. So yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome for the transformation, right? Like I said, spoiler alerts, man. If y'all haven't seen Suicide Squad yet, make sure y'all go check that out. Come back and see this. For the transformation, when we figure out who she is and she's this big bad at the end. Did you do the voice for that or did they bring somebody else
They
in?
had, yeah, I really wanted to, and I thought I was gonna get to because I got to do it for like the first episode when you see like I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but you see like the creature at the very end, like towards the credits. So I got to do that one, and for that one I was thinking
Mm.
Gollum. I was like really inspired by Andy Serkis with that, and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe a little bit like of that, but they really wanted something more high pitched, which was interesting. And so I was a little bummed I didn't get to do it, but no, it was a different actor. So
Nah,
yeah.
that's awesome though. And
Yeah.
sometimes, some characters like in Naruto, like Obito and Toby, they there was a little thing with Michael Yurchek and Kaplan, I think, with that character. So sometimes it plays out like that. They might want to go a little higher pitch because it's anime and they want to,
Yeah.
they want to cater to that anime role. But let's talk about a little slice of life. I brought this one up, right? Because I haven't seen it personally, but I always, look at, you know, my guest IMDb's or, behind the voices or something like that and see what they're in. And I look and I'll be like, let me see if I can get a good pitch out of them on why I should watch this show or why should the heroes and villains watching should watch a nice little slice of life called Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night that you have a recurring role in. Tell us a little bit about your character and the anime and why we should check it out.
Yeah, so okay, so you got to keep in mind we only get like the little snippets of while we're in the booth. But with that one is like I played two different characters. One's like a teenager, and then the other one is the band producer. And so I get to do more with her coming up, like in some fewer and some episodes that are going to be happening in the future. But that's definitely a show you should check out because it's a fun like girl band. which I love the shows with like girl groups of anything. You know, I did like Review Starlight. It was about these girls who were in this performing arts school. Princess Principal was about these like girls spies, you know. So anything that ever has to do with like girl power, girl groups, I think it's fun and you should check out. Yeah.
That's dope. Okay, heroes, villains. Let me know in the comment section if you'll be checking it out, and definitely give it a rating. Now let's talk about voice actors, right? Matter of fact, before we talk about that, let's talk more about you and what inspired you to become an actor. Let's learn about the person behind these great voices.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, ever since this is kind of cliche, but ever since I was 5, I knew I wanted to be an actor.
Mhm.
My parents, you know, we took a trip to Los Angeles, and I got to like do like tours, and I got to see a couple things get, you know, filmed, and I just always loved to play pretend. And I was always, in terms of like voices, when I was little, I was always mimicking people. Like I'd always try to do their voice, or I would prank call people and try to do a voice and a character. And yeah, and I was putting on like shows and writing shows, and you know, just loving like characters. And I'm fascinated by people and stories and relationships and you know, humanity. And so it's just always something that I've just loved and has been inside of me. And I'm so grateful that I had, you know, a fan of parents who were, you know, I come from a very, you know, working class family, but they were so supportive of my dreams and my sister's dreams. She was a dancer, a ballerina for many years. And, you know, they never said like, get a real job or find a real career path or anything. They were always just super supportive. And I think that that's my story is so much a testament to their foundations and how we were raised and their support. And so I got to study theater. I did theater for like, you know, I'm still doing it. I've been a professional actor for like 20 years. And then I was doing a play. I was rehearsing a show in about like 2015, and David Wald, who is a wonderful voice actor and also an ADR director in his own right, we were doing a play together, rehearsing, and he was like, "Hey, you know, there's these auditions at Sentai happening. Like, you would be great. Like, you should come and audition." And actually, in the show that we were in together, kind of like talking about it now in retrospect, I was playing different characters, and I'm wondering if like maybe that's what gave him the idea. But anyway, I got the audition, and I auditioned for Kyle Jones, and I believe Chris Ayres, may he rest in peace, was in there too. And I started booking things, and I had no idea what the heck I was doing in there. It was so crazy. It was so intimidating and overwhelming because like you had like these two screens, and then you had these headphones, and so you would hear the Japanese and you would see the anime, and you'd have the time code and you would have the script, and they gave you like 5 or 6 characters to do, and they're like, okay, now go with this one, whatever like voice. And I was so overwhelmed. I had no idea what I was doing. And but I get cast in a few shows like right away. And
Amazing.
it was
Congratulations. I know that
thank
would have been
you.
that should have been an awesome feeling.
Yeah, it was really great. And it was, and you know, and they were so lovely, and still, you know, Kyle is awesome. I love working with them. He did Suicide Squad and stuff like that. And they both just walked me through it, you know what I mean? And they were like super patient. They knew I didn't know what the heck I was doing or all the technical stuff. And you know, and just yeah, they just guided me along. And I'm so grateful for them. I'm so grateful to David. I'm so grateful for that opportunity. But that's like a testament to like how we need to be as people, you know, and like we have to help each other and support each other and celebrate one another's gifts, you know, and stop being so competitive, because there's enough room in this world for all of our gifts and all of our talents. And you know, we all have something to offer. And I think that that's a really great reminder, you know.
Especially nowadays because there's so many great stories to be told, so many characters. That's always new comic books and mangas and source material to get, some of these ideas for shows and movies. That you're right, is it's more um I want to say competitive nowadays than what it would have been, a few years ago, especially after the pandemic. It's like anime went up 10 notches now.
Yeah.
But speaking about anime and voice actors, I want to get your Mount Rushmore of voice actors, people that inspired you, people that may have mentored you or, that you look up to. Who are your Mount Rushmore of voice actors?
Oh gosh, that's a really good question. I think people that I would the first thing that comes to my mind are people that I know and the people that I love and respect. I love John Swayze. I think, and
Mm,
he's a veteran, and he's been a huge supporter. I've worked with him a ton, and he's not only a great voice actor, a great director, just a great human being in general.
yes.
You
I
know,
had the pleasure of interviewing him. And when I tell you, it was probably one of the most wholesome interviews I had. He told
Aw.
some great stories. Heroes, if you haven't watched the John Swayze interview, please go check it out. He talked about some personal stuff. He even got up and played the guitar for us, man. He rocked. He is so cool and awesome. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna vouch for that one, man. You got my stamp of
Oh,
approval on that first
that's
one.
great. Yeah, he's a lovely, lovely man. I love him so much and his family. I do love Andrew Love's voice. I know like we've done shows, but I think he has one of the best voices out there. It's just like it's deep and it's like down. I can't even do it. Like it's got so many layers and nuance and like it's gorgeous. I think he's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but let's come back to that one. It'll probably come to me with
All
some
right,
other
we will
people.
we'll definitely come back to that one. Are there any do you have a preference when it comes to voicing, heroes or villains? Because you said you wanted to get a chance to play the villainous role. Well, you got to play the villainous role somewhat with the Queen, and then you played more of a heroic role with Beth. And so do you have a preference between the two?
That's a great question. No, I love them both for different reasons. The villain is always just like really juicy and fun because like I said, I hope I'm not like that hopefully in real life, but it's fun to dig your teeth into that. Honestly, it's like anything that's got any character that has like a really interesting arc or journey. They start out one way and ends up a different way, or like they're surprising, or that to me is always like really interesting. So I'm just always interested in characters like who have layers to them and who are like multifaceted rather than just kind of one note.
Okay. Do you got the two for the Mount Rushmore?
Oh, do I have any other people for my Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, you got two. You said John Swayze, and what
Andrew
was the other?
Love.
And
Andrew Love.
Andrew
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah. I mean, Lucy Christian, I mean, she's incredible, right?
Mm.
She's a veteran. And I say that with so much love and respect. I mean, she's got an amazing voice and she can do things that I can't. And I think that's so, she can do anything. She's so great. Every time I like hear her, I'm like, is that okay? Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she sounds fantastic. So yeah.
That's dope. All right, you got one more.
Oh my
Who you
gosh.
gonna put? Hey, put yourself. If I was you, I'll be
Oh.
putting myself. Be like, hey, you know what? I'm going on the route Mount Rushmore with them as well.
No, I still feel like I don't know. I mean, I've been doing it for, a minute, but I still feel like I'm learning, and I still feel like I'm growing. So I don't feel like I'm there, quite yet. Oh man. After I get off on this call with you, I'm gonna
You're gonna be
remember.
like, hey, this is who it
Ah,
was. Matter of fact, how about you leave it in the comment section when the video comes out? Thank you
I
so
will.
much for coming on here. Before we let you go, do you have any upcoming projects or conventions you're able to talk about?
I don't have any upcoming conventions, unfortunately, but if anybody would like me to be there, I would love to be there. Upcoming shows. I can't really talk about quite yet, but there's one series that I'm very excited about that should probably be announced very soon. It reminds me a lot of The Tunnel to Summer, The Exit of Goodbyes in terms of the two leading characters. I love those kind of
Mm.
coming of age relationship stories, but that's going to be a series that's coming out that I can't say the title. And then there's going to be another movie of something that I have gotten to work on before, so that I'm very excited about, but I can't talk about the title just yet. But
Hey,
I'm
well, we hope you come back to the show when you're able to talk about it. Thank you so much for coming. Heroes and villains, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also let them know where they can find you at on social media.
Oh yeah, right on. So IG, I'm at Patricia Duran actor, and then also my website, patriciaduran.net. Thanks so
Let's
much.
go, heroes. Follow up, show some love. Until next time, if nobody told you, I love you, love yourself, pass that love on and love others. And until next time, we're out of here.
Sing it with me, pretty Cali, pretty Cali, pretty Cali.